3, 2, 1, 0.
I'ma press play every time.
The funny don't stop, so the funny don't stop. Hey, the funny don't stop, so the funny don't stop. The funny don't stop, so the funny don't stop. The funny don't stop, so the funny don't stop. Hey.
My name is Halo Thomas, and you're listening to the Funny Don't Stop Show.
That's right. She said it right. Halo said it right. It's the Funny Don't Stop Show, where we find the funny in everything. What's that long line again? Say it.
We find the funny in everything.
What's that long line again, Raul?
We find it in everything.
That's what's up. Yes, sir. My name is Alex Thomas, and I'm your host.
This is Sed Brass.
And I'm your boy,
Raul.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And you're watching
The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Funny Don't Stop Show. Come on, big round of applause for the Funny Don't Stop Show.
No doubt.
I believe this is what, episode 182?
That's exactly it. 181.
181.
I saw 181 last week. What do you guys? 180. It said it on the thing. 181.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it 182?
I might have mistyped that. It is 182.
Oh, okay. What's up, Bonnie Chambers? Bonnie, I did not forget about you. I am getting your book in the mail tomorrow, signed to Bonnie Chambers, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody all over the world that's watching us. We got people from Maine to Spain, from Alaska to Nebraska, from the Big Apple to the Pineapple, from Georgia to Florida. Come on, man. The Funny Don't Stop Show. Sed Brass, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great, man. We're about to kick off Black History Month. So, this is always an exciting time for me, man, to just kind of be retrospective on where we are in the culture and where we are as a society and just sit back and reflect. We're also consumed by what we do every day in our journey. Right. But at least we have a time to reflect on the ancestors whose shoulders we stand on.
Exactly. So. Well, I don't know about you, Sam, but it's just tough for me to say that it's Black History Month. I just feel like it's Black History every single day of the year. I mean,
absolutely.
We created so much. We started so much. In 30 days, really?
Yeah.
I mean, 30
actually
days.
28. Technically 28.
Technically 28. You can't cram all this history into 28 days. So that's why I feel Black History Month is all year round. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Raul, what up, boy?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm excited.
I missed last week, man. Last week.
What'd you say?
I said I missed last week.
Yeah, you were caught on that 405.
Man, it was horrible, man. 2 hours.
Chi-Town is in the building. And you know what? Speaking of Chi-Town, I actually have one of my boys that's going to join us today on the show. He is a NFL superstar, former superstar, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game of football, a real down-to-earth brother and my friend. He's a Philadelphia Eagles Hall of Famer, and he's a 6-time Pro Bowler. We got to give it up right now. I just got to welcome my boy, Donovan McNabb is in the building. Yes, there he is.
Yeah.
What up, D?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Welcome to the Funny Don't Stop Show. This is my producer right here, Raul. You got to roll the R when you say his name.
I'm not doing that. I was about to say that for a minute. I was like,
I can't.
Donovan, you don't speak no Spanish. You went to Syracuse. You don't speak no Spanish.
I do, but I'm not rolling my R's. I'm sorry.
Well, this is my boy Sed Brass. He is originally from Chi-Town.
That's what's up.
All right, Sed.
Chi-Town in the building.
Yes, hey, sir. I got to ask you a question real quick, Donovan. So, the average brother in the hood right now, whenever they're on FaceTime, they do this like real low angle where we see up your nose. Is there any way that we can see your face? I mean, you got the camera. Like I see your Adam's apple more than I see your face. Bro, if you got 2 Nike shoe boxes you can put your phone on, we can see your face.
Well, I mean, I don't have a big chair like you since you're so small.
It's going to put it right in his chest. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He got that microphone like it's up his throat. Like, I think, how is that? Is that good?
That's much better. How you feel, Donovan?
You know what? I feel sexy. I'm just,
The phone fell on that one.
I'm feeling good, brothers. How y'all feel? What's going on?
Man, we good, man. I was explaining to them how far we go back and how I have always said that you missed your other calling as a comedian. I've been telling you for 20 something years that you should have taken your dab in comedy, man. Am I the only person to ever say that?
You have said that nobody else has ever said that, but I will say one thing, though, man. We had some fun times back in the day when we were younger. Yes, when we all had hair. Um,
Exactly,
Right.
you
exactly.
know, but it's things that we can reflect on, and obviously we all got kids and we moved on, but we see our kids coming, bringing that personality and character out of them, so it's exciting to see.
So how is life after football, man? I mean, you one of those dudes with a hell of a personality, so I know things got to be great. That was just a chapter in your life. How is it after football now, man?
Man, it's outstanding. It's busy. And that's kind of what I expected, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be the dad that's very supportive of my kids and being at their sports and at their practices, training sessions, helping them with their homework, making sure they go to sleep and put their phones away. Uh, I'm just
Absolutely.
I'm just a dad that's just and also things that I'm involved in is I still do charitable work out in the community here in Arizona as well as back in Chicago. Do things in Philadelphia. I'm coaching girls softball, coaching girls basketball, training quarterbacks. So I'm still staying busy, but more importantly, just trying to help develop the youth and giving them opportunity to be on the platform to be showcased and display their talent the right way to fulfill their dream of playing Division I sports at some point.
Well, you got a whole lot going on. You sell pit bull puppies too?
I'm not in Atlanta. I'm not in the South, but you know,
That was a good dig.
That was so funny, man. Is I always wondered too, all those years being the quarterback, being the leader of the team. Like, were you the funniest dude in the locker room? Because I mean, you had to know the playbook more than everybody, but you also the one with all the personality, man. How did that work? Were you like the funniest guy in the locker room?
you know what? I don't look at it as being funny, and I don't think any of us who have any type of personality or character kind of look
Right,
at
right,
it
right.
that way. We're just being normal. We're just being normal, and I think the important part of people understanding who we are as individuals is they get a chance to see that side of us. We open up to them and give them an understanding of what we enjoy, what we like to do, how we calm ourselves down in order to accomplish that common goal. But at the end of the day, man, if you ain't having fun, then why are we doing it?
Absolutely. And I feel like that would have been like one of your speeches before the game. Because I'm pretty sure you would see dudes that were tense or a rookie or a young dude that ain't
Right.
ready for this situation. I feel like comedy or just making people laugh, it kind of makes the environment a little bit more comfortable to go out and do your job. Is that true?
That is true. And you always hear from athletes talking about you dress good, you play good.
And when you play good, they pay good.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes when you don't pay
The
your
way that
can
the
you hear
way
me?
that I try to go.
You cut
Yeah,
out
I can
for a
hear you. I
second
got
there,
you.
Donovan.
My bad.
Okay, we see you now. We see you
Yeah,
now.
you there? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way that I try to approach everything is by making sure that everybody understands the task at hand. And once you understand the task at hand, you can go along and just be yourself. And I think if you do that, good things can happen.
Well, let's dive straight in, man. We were talking yesterday, and you were telling me how you are mentoring
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, man. Like, is
Right.
he that dude right now in the league?
He
Is
is
he
the dude.
that dude? Is he everything
Yeah.
we see when we're just seeing from the outside in? I just watch ESPN and Sports Center and highlights like everybody else. Is he that dude?
Well, let's go by what we mean by what that dude. I
All right,
think
the
that is
field,
very
the
important.
field, a
Yeah.
leader, quarterback.
Well, he is the leader, and he's a leader in a sense because one, his personality is as such as business as usual. He still knows how to hang with the fellas when need be. He puts in that extra work like he's supposed to, but at the end of the day, you have to respect the guy that is willing to sacrifice his time and efforts in order for the team to succeed. Now, he may get overlooked and he may be the one that they won't give the credit to, but at the end of the day, you can't take away winning. And that's what we've seen. We've seen him be a leader to lead this team to win and now put his team in a chance to win the Super Bowl. But they will try to find a way not to give him the credit because it's not what they're used to seeing. And that's the
Exactly.
thing that bothers me when it comes to just sports in general. We want to kind of look at the norm or what it should be, instead of what it is at this particular point. And so you're talking MVP candidate.
Right.
He's a true MVP candidate and probably should win the MVP, but he's shown that he can play this game at a high level.
And what's crazy is, Donovan, I'm not just saying this because you're my friend, but he reminds me a lot of you. Do other people say that also? I mean, a guy that can run, a guy that can pass. He also makes smart decisions. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even body shape and height. Like, you got to tell me because I'm not really quite sure. What is his height and size versus what your height and size was in your prime?
I want to say he's about, I would say maybe like 6'1.5", 6'2", probably about 220 maybe.
Okay.
I was 6'3", 240, 235, 240, and a lot stronger and better looking. You know, he's working his way to get to that point, but
Right.
he's just not there yet. He's just not there.
So yeah, I got to ask you this, Donovan. When you say you mentor him and you guys talk, a couple times a week,
Right.
is it more hearing your experience and your stories, or is he kind of asking questions as a big brother, like, yo, man, what did you do in this situation,
Yeah.
or like, how should I approach this, and that, like some inside stuff that people wouldn't know from an OG to like the young kid coming up?
Well, we all know as being pretty much as we labeled as OGs at this point.
Right.
I don't
Right.
talk about when I played. If he asks any questions of how I handle situations, what to expect, how to prepare,
Right.
those are the answers that I try to give him from the experience aspect. And then if I don't have the full answer, I'll get it for him. So I don't go into back when I played. I did this and I
Right.
I don't
Right.
do that because we all know as kids, and take it back to when we were kids, when some of the OGs or our parents or mentors talked to us. Once they started going into what they did, we tuned out. And I don't,
Yeah, that
I
is
don't
true.
want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that he can lean on, or if he want to vent, if he need any answers quick, I can get that for him. But more importantly, I was just being supportive, letting him know and prepared him for what he's being faced with right now, what he'll be faced with in the future, and just making sure that he has the answers when the time comes.
So most of us from the outside in, obviously, we're all super excited that this is the first time in Super Bowl history we have two black quarterbacks going up against each other. I mean, that's a beautiful thing for the culture. We all remember when we were growing up, there hardly was no black quarterbacks at all.
Absolutely.
Did we ever think this was going to come to this?
Right.
I'm just wondering, you personally, what is your feeling on that? Like, you're one of the brothers that put it down so this next generation could do what they're doing. How does that make you feel personally? Like, just as a former player, seeing this happen.
I'm actually proud. I'm proud because my thing is I look at the present, but I also look at where the future of the possible NFL will be. Let's go back to the kids in middle school. These African American quarterbacks that are playing right now, where a lot of these coaches are putting them in there because they have that ability to utilize their legs, but not utilizing their arm and their mind.
Right.
And being able to teach these kids the fundamentals of the game and teaching them the right way. So they have dreams of playing in the professional ranks and seeing guys like Jalen Hurts and also Patrick
Lamar
Mahomes
Jackson and Lamar
Deshaun
Jackson.
and Lamar and these guys. And then these guys, the guys who are in high school who are playing the quarterback position, who are rewarded with opportunity to play on the Division I level as an African American quarterback. And these college kids who dream of playing and being drafted in the NFL. It's something in which, like for me, I remember growing up, sitting on the couch on Sunday and watching Doug Williams play and believing that I had a chance to possibly play in the big game as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And then going to college and coming out and being drafted and seeing Steve McNair, who played in the Super Bowl, where I'm a rookie and I'm watching this man do the things that he was able to do at Alcorn, and now he's on the biggest stage and that close from winning the Super Bowl. So my dreams felt like they were going to come true if I just continue to work hard.
Absolutely.
And then being the third black quarterback to play in the Super Bowl, you know how big that was for me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it had to be
Huge.
And the question that was, remember, I go back to the question that was asked of Doug Williams of how long you've been a black quarterback. And
Right.
the ignorance of that question.
Yeah.
And then,
Correct.
I remember vividly, I think it was on a Wednesday practice or maybe it was a Tuesday, Wednesday. I remember wearing Doug Williams' jersey
Number
down at the Super
12.
Bowl.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, his 17 when he was the
In
Redskins.
17 when he was with the Redskins.
Right.
Because I felt like I was carrying Doug and Steve
Yeah.
of having
Yeah.
that opportunity now to be the next one to hopefully win that Super Bowl. And even after me, Russell and Kaepernick,
Right.
these guys. So I just think it's important for us to also glorify this opportunity. When people want to say, well, I think we're past. I hope we're past that. We're not.
We're
Because
not.
like we have Black History Month.
Yeah.
This
Right.
is an important month for us, but we should enjoy this a lot more than just 1 month of the year.
Well, Donovan, I had a quick
Wait,
question.
I just got to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Hey,
What you going to say, Sed?
Yeah, no, seeing that you're so tapped into black culture, and I'm pretty much, the guys are already going to preempt my question. Speaking specifically that you were talking about on the topic of Alcorn, what's your thoughts on now players going into the SWAC and HBCU conferences now, and now it's becoming appealing for players, I guess, part one, and then part two, could we see the likes of you, since you're passionate in this kind of profession where you're mentoring and there you realize that there's a need for young black athletes to now be cultivated correctly in order to go to the next level? Do you see yourself possibly, my second part, see yourself possibly coaching and mentoring at the HBCU level now that we're seeing so many Hall of Famers doing the same thing?
well, let me go to your first part of your question, and I've always tried to express that we needed someone to be the catalyst to carry on the HBC legacy and understand that it's no different than the Division One or the FCS level because you're still playing at a competitive level versus athletes who may have not had that opportunity to receive those offers and scholarships to an Alabama or to a Cal or any of that, but they still have the ability to play on the next level. And so when Dion came in, it glorified what the HBCU was all about, where they were on ESPN, they were on ABC, NBC, they were rewarded with that opportunity. But I think it's important for us as African Americans to continue to support the HBCU, even that Dion is gone. We still have Hugh Jackson. We still have Eddie George. We still have Tyrone Wheatley, who's now going back into the HBCU to coach. The list goes on.
We got Bubba McDowell over at Prairie View. I gotta tout
Exactly.
my alumni.
Okay, I appreciate you sort of dropping that dime in there. But also, I think what we have to look at too is us as African Americans and Black folks. We gotta help fund these kids as opportunity. Like you look at some of the football fields and the universities of how the groundskeeping crew and things like that. It's a struggle. It's really a struggle. I mean, it goes back to when Ed Reed got the job at Bethune-Cookman. Did you see the football field that he had?
That was horrible.
He wasn't even under contract yet. And so everybody looks at the rant because it went viral, but do people understand really what it's going through? But even at Jackson State, and I got family in Jackson, Mississippi, they have black running water, man. Like, come on, that's you don't see that at Alabama. You don't see that at these colleges.
Exactly.
Because they have the funding from the boosters and alumni. We got to be able to help fund and help give these opportunities for these kids. I go into coaching? No, that's not really my vibe. You know, I like to work with guys outside of the universities and the high schools and prepare them for what they'll be facing.
Going back real quick to the HBCU situation, right? I want you to take us back to your senior year of high school. And what I mean by that is, did those offers come your way? Did it ever even cross your table, cross your desk? Was it ever a thought in your mind? If so, why, and why not?
Well, I mean, let's go back when we were younger. There were no offers.
Right.
There was no such thing as an offer. Teams would not reach out to you and talk to you consistently if they didn't offer you a scholarship. So that was our offer, I guess. When the team sent you letters and they picked up a phone and called you. That's when you knew you had a scholarship offer. So things are more intricate now. Did I have any HBC, letters or communications? Jackson State, because my parents, not my parents, but my family members all live down there in Jackson. So they were interested in me coming down and playing football. But the recruiting aspect was a little bit different in the HBCU back then than
Then
it is
then it
now.
was now.
You know what I
yeah.
thought you were gonna
So
say,
they weren't, you
Donovan.
know what I mean? They weren't coming to your high school wearing their polo jerseys and watching you play
Yeah.
and watching film. It was
Yeah.
like they was looking through magazines, or if you were on like on Prep Sports or one of them,
Right,
one of
right,
those,
right,
they
right.
watched you there. But now it's a little bit more deeper because the NFL has supported so much of what the Division Ones of the SECs, the Big 12, the Pac-12, all these schools. So they're getting the scouting department to now
Yeah.
come in and sit at
Are
your
you saying
school.
kind of like? Are you saying it's more of a business now than it was
It,
back then?
beyond the business. This is now to the point where we are now. You got to pay these kids.
Yeah.
And remember,
Absolutely.
we fought for that for our name and likeness. Now you got NIL deals.
That was my next
Hey,
question.
hey! I'm not gonna say no names, but I know a lot of big guys. I ask them like, so what made you go to this and that school? They'd be like, hey man, they was paying the most, and I'd be
There
like,
you go. And
it
that's
was
real.
tough to me to believe that because on TV you're going, oh, that doesn't really happen. But so many dudes that we all know were like, bro, it came down to who was cutting the biggest check, and I'm like, so that was real. It made me go, oh, so that's not just talk.
Well, it's not. I won't say it wasn't just talk back in the day. Back in the day, you might get a little handshake, you might get a little envelope, but now it's straight millions. Like
Contracts.
yeah, you ain't getting a couple $100 and be like, hey, great game, or
Right.
I'm gonna need you to get about 2 more touchdowns. No,
right.
now it's about I'm gonna sign this dotted line
Million,
and say
yeah.
I'm gonna get 3 year, $15 million.
Hey, Donovan.
Yeah.
Nowadays you got sixth graders with agents.
Right.
Hey, you got moms with Chanel purses with a fifth
Right.
grader talking about we can
Right.
make it.
All right. All right.
Hey, I gotta ask you this, Donovan. So, was Syracuse your first choice, or were you one of those dudes that you had just like a ton of offers? And if it wasn't, like, where else? What was your second choice, or was there no other choice? That was it.
Nebraska was one of my top choices. It was
Okay.
between Nebraska, Syracuse, Texas, and then also you got to take into account I was looking to go and play in basketball as well. So most of these
Which
schools
was
that
going to
were
be
in-
my next thing. You beat me to it, but I was going to finish talking about this, but I was about to bring that up. But continue on.
So that was part of my recruiting of where I would have the opportunity to play both sports. So Syracuse, after I went to Nebraska, I went to Syracuse. I loved everything about Nebraska. At that particular time, they were winning national championships.
Of course,
Tom,
of course.
Tom Osborne was
Right.
one of the best to ever do it.
Tommy
I went to
Frazier and those
Syracuse.
dudes.
And, well, Tommy, it was funny because Tommy was a junior at that time. And
Oh,
so
really?
the thing was I was going to come in, learn behind Tommy for a year, battle with Brooke Barrington, the late Brooke Barrington, who
Yeah.
passed away in a plane crash,
Yeah.
and have the opportunity of starting my redshirt freshman year.
Oh,
and
wow.
so I looked at it like it was a great opportunity, but went to Syracuse, and I loved everything about New York. I loved everything about Syracuse. Reminded me so much of back home. And so when I went to Syracuse, I just felt like the offense was suited for me. And so it was one in which it was just kind of working out, getting from Chicago to New York. Obviously that ain't around the corner.
Right.
So I made that decision, and man, it was the best decision ever.
So what's crazy is you and Dion have a lot in common. A lot of people don't realize this, but I'll say, so we all know what Dion did in two sports. He played
Right.
pro baseball, he played pro football. You were a nice hooper, bro. I remember you as a hooper. My question to you was, could you have went to the NBA? Was that even in the deck of cards, or was that just I stay in shape, but my first sport is football? Like, did you know back then, I want to be a quarterback versus a point guard?
No, I wanted to play in the NBA. My dream was to play in the NBA. Could
Really?
I play in
First?
the NBA?
First?
That was first. My first passion has always been basketball.
Oh, okay.
And what people don't realize is basketball helps me on the football field. Being able to break somebody's ankles, break down, being able to accelerate, being able to explode.
Yeah.
And so I took parts of that over on the football field. And I just looked at it in the sense of, I'm nice. I feel good out here. And so could I play the NBA? And I'll be honest with you, no.
Why you say that? Why you say that? Because I want to ask you right now, if you can remember off the top of your head right now, you played. Wait, you went 4 years to Syracuse, right?
Yeah, I'm 5.
Okay. 5.
Chicago
Okay.
Red
So let's just say your fourth year. Who
Yes.
I remember you were a shooting guard, correct?
Right. Yes.
Who was the other top 5 dudes in college at that time that either ended up going pro, or who were some of the dudes that we would know that you actually played against and they took it to the next level?
That a basketball player. So AI, Ray.
Those
Allen.
years?
Yeah, AI.
Did Syracuse
AI came
play
out of high school,
Georgetown?
but then he served a little bit of time. So
Yeah.
He came later.
Right,
But
right.
AI, Ray Allen, Kerry Kittle.
Yep.
At that time, Antoine Walker, who
Right.
went to high
From
school
Chicago.
Yeah.
with me. Yeah, went to
I
high
didn't know
school
y'all
with
went to
me.
high school together.
Yeah, we went to high school together.
What school was that again?
Mont Carmel High School in Chicago,
Mark Carmel,
Illinois.
exactly.
Right off Stony Island, yes indeed.
Yeah.
But
I went to Morgan Park.
Even that year, I mean, I think Tony Delk, we played him in the national championship
Tony
in
Delk,
'96.
Tony Delk ended up going to Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yep,
so
yep.
you think of Kentucky and what they had at that time. Ryan Mercer, we played in '96, was a freshman.
Beast.
He ended up being a lottery pick.
To
I
the
mean,
Bulls.
so
He
I
ended up going to the
played against-
Bulls, play with Mike.
Yeah, I played against being in Chicago. I played against Juwan Howard and Tom Kleinschmidt.
Wow. Okay.
So I played against all the guys and gave them buckets, but yet still, I just didn't feel like being a 6'2" guard, 6'3" guard, that wasn't the norm. That wasn't the norm. I wasn't Isaiah. I was
Yeah.
Shoot.
Right. That's crazy, man. That is absolutely. So here's something I wanted to know. Right. How's your golf game?
Well, as you like to say, I'm not Panther Woods.
See, I'm the ghetto Tiger Woods. They call me Inglewood, so you know me. Yeah.
I played with you and against you, and I can say I'm about where you are in your game. But
When's the last time you played, Donovan?
I just play charity events. So last time I played, I think it might have been about 5 months ago.
Oh, so you're a professional celebrity tournament
player. I am. But you know what? I'm a gamer.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? I get some great shots, some great putts. Now the other ones, I might hit your house, or I might hit you on the next court. But I'm consistent. I'm consistent.
That's
And
funny.
I might hit your house.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you live on the golf course, just be aware.
So how you liking Phoenix, man? Does it feel like it's just a resort? Does Phoenix? Because whenever I go to Phoenix, I feel like Phoenix is Las Vegas / Palm Springs / I'm retired. I'm just living my life and enjoying this weather.
Well, I would love to say that, but when you got 4 kids and you're always active, there is no vacation. One thing I will say about Phoenix, though, and being from Chicago, you can't shovel sunshine.
You can't
That's
shovel
funny.
sunshine.
I'm still that. I'm still in that.
You can't shovel sunshine, and then also I'm wearing flip flops all year round.
And a wife beater on Christmas.
Well, I got a hoodie on, but at Christmas I'm definitely in a short sleeve shirt.
That's wow.
Good on Phoenix.
So I got to ask you this, man. Your honest opinion, like, because people are asking me. I know what we see from the outside in, but it's back to football. What would you say the major difference between Mahomes and Hurts is? Like, what do we have to expect as far as entertainment and watching 2 quarterbacks, but 2 completely different quarterbacks for the Super Bowl?
One has a little bit of pizzazz. One can kind of get off kilter a little bit with some of the unnatural throws, so to speak.
You talking about Mahomes' no looks and behind the back passes?
Yeah. So it's things that some of these bad trainers out here are teaching these young kids.
Are they teaching them that, Donovan?
Yeah, they're teaching them all this mess. It's really affecting these young kids of just the fundamentals. But
wow, I didn't know that.
What Patrick has learned, he's learned how to master the fundamentals and take his game to another level.
Right.
And I will say this: he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Why? Why?
Yeah. Huh?
Why?
He can play from the pocket. He can be accurate from the pocket. He has explosive play ability. He can get outside the pocket, which sometimes he runs like he's got bad feet.
He does. He actually runs sometimes like he has 3 pinky toes.
Yeah, he run like he was an extra in Glory. So
Oh no.
But you know what? And
Corey.
then and then Jalen is a strong leader who
Yeah.
can play from the pocket. Also does a great job running the ball. But his leadership and his big play ability has put them in the position at which they are. So you have two guys who are very similar, but also very different in a positive way to be able to lead their team the right way.
Said, I know you had another question.
Well, he kind of got went into my question. I was going to ask him about the influence of NIL in like sports today, and do you see that being a bad thing, a good thing, seeing that players, aren't really paid while they're in college, and it's kind of like, oh, well, you're paid to actually go to school and the education that you getting, but are there any pros and cons, or do you have a stance on like NIL and what's it doing and the major effects of college football?
Positive and negative. Positive is, I think, we're taking away from the kids going to get an education because it's so focused on the financial aspect of things. It's great for these kids to be utilizing their name and likeness in the right way to help probably provide financially for a lot of families who, kids who come from single parent homes or low income housing. It helps with them in that regard. But the negative aspect is kids aren't going to school to get an education anymore.
Yeah.
These kids are trying to just go straight to the league, get paid and go straight to the league.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what happens in plan B? What's your bottom line? Like if you get to school and you suffer injury and you're trying to get in the league, are you on pace to graduate? And for
Yeah.
those who
Yeah.
aren't able to get to the league, are you doing the right things? And one thing I can say about it, and my daughter's a freshman in Syracuse playing basketball now.
Okay.
And so what they do now is you're taking summer school classes each and every summer to hopefully be on pace to graduate in 4. Now, if you don't graduate in 4 and you're taking 2, 3 courses during the summer with 15 to 18 credits each and every semester, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. That's on you. You should be able to graduate in 3.5, 4 years.
Right. Let me ask you this. Do you think in the near future, are we going to see in the near future college players getting paid? Like just straight up, no more questions if this is happening and under the table, like it's just going to happen and it's just going to be the norm within the next 5-10 years?
They are getting paid because
No, I know that, but I'm
about
saying it's still not just out there like that.
Well, this is what they're doing. They're getting paid each and every semester, so they're not getting summer jobs. When I was in college, we had to have a summer job. They don't have summer
Really?
jobs. Their summer job is going to school, and they're getting paid for that semester. And so they're getting paid for the semester during the year. Each semester during the year, they're getting paid for you taking summer school classes. And so they're collecting checks all throughout the year. So this ain't something that just all of a sudden is under the table. They get paid, brother. And so
Wow, I didn't realize that,
NIL
man.
is just big money. NIL
Right.
is big money.
Well, since we're on that topic of college, I was something I wanted to ask earlier, but I'm going to ask it again now. Do you think that Dion is going to change that Colorado program around immediately, or do you think it's going to take some time? Because obviously he's got the pressure of what he did in 2 years' time at Jackson State. We all know this is a different division, it's a different conference, it's a different set of players. Do you think he's going to turn that program around immediately, or is that going to take a while?
It's going to take about 3 years. Now he'll have lightning in a bottle, where we're going to see a splash of him probably winning about seven games this year, which will put him bowl eligible. Because the Pac-12 is just really not the Pac-12, and so he may win 8 or 9 because UCLA and USC are going to the Big Ten. And
Absolutely.
so,
Oh, that's good. So they're not going to be in that anymore.
no,
Wow.
I think in 2024 they're gone. But I think this year expect to have explosive games versus Colorado and USC, Stanford. These particular games because I think now what he's done is he's put Shakur on the biggest stage possible to try to
And you
help
just
him.
took it right out. You took the words out of my mouth. You went exactly to where I'm going because I'm like,
put
I
him on
got
the
to
biggest
ask
stage.
Donovan this question.
So now
I got to
it's
ask you
his
this
time
question.
to shine to see if he can play on the next level.
So
Yeah.
my question to you is, because a lot of people are like, people want to say, and I never played football in my life, so you'll be able to tell me this. Is it like playing Pop Warner, where he came from, HBCU? Is it going to be a world of a difference now that he's playing the Utahs and the UCLAs, the USCs? Is that dude going to be able to shine at this level in the Pac-12?
Yes, he can. I believe that Shakur is a second to late third round pick, and that's only because they'll try to use that against him. But you got to understand.
Use what against him? Use what against him?
That he played in the HBCU. Now he only played 1 year at Colorado.
Of course. Yeah.
If he played 2-3 years at Colorado, that's a whole different deal.
Right,
and the fact he's Deion's son is going to give him a little bit of credence, and he works with Tom Brady. But he's got better offensive linemen. He's going to have supposedly better wide receivers on the outside.
Right.
And the coaching staff is more NFL experience like he had over at JMU. So you think of what it could be. He can go out and put up good numbers. It's just, is Colorado good enough compared to the teams that they'll be playing against?
Say you were going to say something else.
The Louis Vuitton luggage. Louis Vuitton luggage. And most of these people were doing Gucci. And
wait. So I got to ask you this, Donovan. I wasn't even going to ask this, but I forgot how funny you are. Dude, do you ever, in your retired life, when you're looking at social media or you're watching something on the news and you see the way some of these dudes dress in the NFL now, do you even have to laugh sometimes and go, but like, what? And they call it fashion. They be like, dude, you look like you were in Circus Olay with that outfit on. Like, I don't care if it costs $10,000 for those plastic pants with feathers coming out the ankles. That's not fashion, dude.
A lot of them look like they're chaps.
Yeah.
Some of those tight leather pants.
That is funny.
Some that look like their sweaters are T-shirts because they're so tight.
Right. Right.
And then let's go to the NBA. Kyle Kuzma looked like he got a bad comforter on. And then he had the nerve to have a mask on. I mean, I was a little confused. Maybe it wasn't for me, but it's just not my style, you know.
Right. And you know what's so funny, Donovan? Like, I think these dudes, our generation versus this new generation is now these guys, you play in the NFL, but you also have a stylist, right? Back in our day, it was like, no, this is what I like, what I bought from the mall, what I think is cool. Some of the stuff I see these dudes, I think they have a stylist that goes, no. If you wear this, you're gonna be killing them. That jacket costs $30,000 and it's Fendi. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Fendi, Chanel.
Them cats walk into the store and be like, I want you to put that together with that and wear these furry shoes. Like, I mean, and they paying their stylist a good $50,000 to probably $80,000 a year.
Absolutely.
And so they out there with it ain't even skinny jeans. Like them dudes got a yeast infection walking around. and I mean the shirts feel like, I mean, come on, what material is that?
Right.
Well, James Harden had on a jacket that looked
Did you see that dude?
For Joel Embiid.
Oh no.
Like, and what's crazy is he will tell you, no, but I spent $50,000 on this. I think they get it confused just because it cost $50,000. No,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, you look like Big Bird at an LBGTQ parade. Is what you look like. You know what I mean? That's what you look like. And it is nothing against their community. I love them to death. But dude, you're 6'9", 295 pounds. You can't wear what Chris Brown is wearing in his last dance video.
Exactly.
It looked like he got Mario's clothes on. But he meant to wear Ruben Studdard's shirt.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hey, Donovan, real quick. So what you gonna say?
No. Go ahead. I was going back to the Shador thing, so go ahead and finish your point.
Don't forget your question. I want to introduce you to our other good friend that's on our show.
Fellas, so I got to go coach the girls. So.
Yeah. All right. This is the last thing. That's Savvy Amusing.
What up, Don?
What's happening, player?
What's up, bro? Did I miss all the football talk, man? Damn.
You did.
You did. We were talking about everything. Yeah.
Hey, one last
You got
question,
that
Sed.
Cooley High Harmony jacket on.
He on fire now.
I'm telling you, you don't even understand.
Hey,
you
you on
guys, what
fire, man.
here's what you guys don't understand. Donovan has been to so many of my shows over the years. There's been times when I wanted to pull him on stage and be like, and opening up with a quick 10 minutes. Give it up for Donovan McNabb. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, that's
Hey.
funny, man.
Y'all stupid, man. But y'all
Hey,
keep
Donovan.
the money going, man. I got to get out of here, develop these young girls, get them ready, man.
Nah,
Hey,
that's
brother,
cool.
I just wanted to say thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Well, I'm going to get out there. We're going to play some golf, me, you, and Hinojosa, and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And one last thing, who's winning the Super Bowl?
You know what he gonna say?
You know, Jalen Hurts MVP. It'll be a big stand of making this thing happen. So when we fly, Eagles fly. But make sure when you come out to Arizona, you got to grow your mustache, though. You can't come out here.
Hey, Alex, Donovan, you ain't got to go that. I was finna call Tom Brady real quick, man. Just let you talk to him real quick.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, that's okay. You got me on that looking like Damian Williams.
Hey, you guys, give it up for my boy, Donovan McNabb.
Yeah,
Donovan, I
yeah.
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
We're going to keep in contact, all right?
All right, no doubt.
All right, man. Oh, my God. Hey, like I said, we find the funny in everything here at the Funny Don't Stop show, man. That's my boy, man.
Hey, bro, I had no idea he was that funny, man.
Dude, you don't understand. We have been friends over 20 years. And like literally he's come to 15 of my shows over the years. There'd be years where the Eagles would be in a whole nother city and he'd bring the team out to see me. Or if I was performing in Philly, he'd come to my shows. But he's just, his personality is crazy. The dude is hilarious. Like,
I see.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna go back and watch the show after it ends. So because I clearly I missed a lot, man.
We got
brother. He came right at the end.
Yeah,
that brother funny, man.
He's hilarious, but we got some very informative stuff, man. I mean, Sed asked some great questions. We got some good talk out of Donovan. You know, there's some inside stuff about Jalen Hurts, about the Super Bowl, about the whole HBCU, process. We talked about Deion Sanders. We talked about a lot of stuff, man. So
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
hey, real quick, Raul, even though I sent you a few things last week, you would probably still have it on your board or like some pictures or some video because we have about 10 more, 15 more minutes.
Well, I do got a segment loaded, and I was trying to squeeze that in, but he had to get out.
Okay, there you go, Sam.
So yeah, and it's sports involved, and it was funny because he was talking about how much he's working with kids and youth in sports, and I'm on social media pretty frequent, and I'm not gonna lie, like seeing this phenomenon of young black kids, more especially black males, excel at sports like beyond what other kids are performing at, I just get a kick out of that, man. And I will say that I get an extra special little dose when they show up other kids that's not in their ethnic group. It's just another little kick that I get a little pleasure from seeing because we don't see that very often, especially in the media. And so I wanted to get his take on this segment real quick, a clip I saw real quick on a kid wrestling.
Okay.
Name it be ringing bells, stack it like hand, we ringing bells, loading up K's and we ringing shells. No, we don't play, we be ringing bells. We moving weight and exceeding scales, getting our way, we gon' ring your bell. I'm in the game, I'm like straight.
Yeah.
I have never seen that move in my life.
Damn. Not even in WWE.
Yo, this kid I'll play it again for you. Watch him at the beginning how he set this kids up with the two-hand grab.
Okay.
Name it be ringing bells, stack it like hand, we ringing bells, loading up K's and we ringing shells. No, we don't play, we be ringing bells. We moving weight and exceeding scales, getting our way, we gon' ring your bell. I'm in the game, I'm like straight.
There's no getting out of that, man.
Okay, first things first. Did he get arrested after that match? Because that looked like an illegal hold. I've seen a lot of wrestling, whether it's, WWW or down to this new UFC. I've never seen that hold before. Has anybody seen that?
That's the last shit. That's the last shit the police need to see. He's gonna be teaching new academies now.
It's funny.
They gonna have niggas on the ground in that same move because it said putting this shit on the show.
And it's funny, Savvy, because I've seen a bunch of like comments from that post I ripped it from, and people would say, "See, this is where racism in police cop starts right here. That kid's gonna grow up. That kid's gonna go up and be a racist cop." So it's funny you use that analogy.
That little white boy is gonna hate black people.
He gonna use that same move. He gonna be using that same move.
Right.
Talk about how his elbow got dislocated by Claudel when they were 6 years old.
Yeah,
And
man.
he's gonna hate black people forever.
Yeah, man. It's
Hey,
it's
you know
crazy.
What? You know what was even more amazing? He wasn't screaming or crying.
No. Yeah.
He was just taking the move.
Well, you think it could have been because they had Little Baby playing in the background? I don't know.
I don't know what was going on, but he didn't
hear the screaming.
His facial expression didn't look like it had a bit of agony in it, not a little bit. So.
Well, then again, they both look like together they're about 44 pounds.
Right.
Yeah, so, maybe that. Yeah, there you go.
There was no real weight in that video. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, one of us get done like that, we're gonna be on disability forever, nigga.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So and someone said that in that form of wrestling you have to like tap out. It was like, man, the poor kid can't even tap out because he got his arms the whole time. Like the poor kid can't even tap out because he got his arms in lock the whole
he gonna
time.
have to tap dance out, nigga. He won't be able to use his hands. That's for sure.
That's when you're just gonna have to say the words tap out.
Yeah.
The ref sitting there like, go ahead, tap out, tap out. How the fuck I'm gonna tap out? He got both my hands pinned.
Hey, I don't mean to bring this down or anything, but only because we kind of get, that brutality thing kind of came up, man. What is you guys feeling on this situation in Memphis right now, man? It's just so sad what we saw with the world witnessed. I mean, I hate that it's us on us, but man, there's so many different developments coming out right now. I'm gonna start with you, Savvy. Like, what's your feeling on this whole situation, and that this young man lost his life to ignorant, police brutality?
Yeah, man. Well, honestly, Alex, I feel several ways. The first way is like hurt, because it could have been any of us, me, you, Raul said, it could have been any of us. Yeah. The second way I feel is I never want to give white people a narrative of like, see, what are you gonna say now? Black people did this to this guy. Yeah. So I just hate when we put a black eye on a situation like that and set us back. Another
I thought you were gonna say you hate when we put a black eye on a black guy.
Man, that's fucked up. Nah,
too soon.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. But what I was saying, another thing I was saying, Alex, even not having the whole story, it felt to me like an unprovoked looking beating like that. It felt like it was something more to it. Well, it just felt like that. I'm like, I'm starting to hear little rumors that something else was involved, and now that's basically corroborating what I felt. I felt like nobody deserves to get beat like that for erratic driving. It just seemed personal.
It had to be something else.
Correct.
It had to be something else.
Speaking of something else, what's come out today is that when the dude was on the ground, one of the cops took a picture of him when he was basically unconscious, completely swollen. And this is after they beat him down for 5 minutes, and sent it to his ex-baby mama. It turns out that the young man worked at FedEx with that cop's ex-baby mama. And that's the crazy part. The ex-baby mama and him both worked at FedEx. Memphis is the home of FedEx, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Memphis is the home of it's almost like in the 60s and 70s where cars were made in Detroit and almost everybody in Detroit had a job at the plant.
Yeah.
FedEx is so huge. So many young African Americans between like 18 and 25 have jobs at FedEx, right?
Right.
So it turns out that young man was messing around with that dude's ex. And he sent the picture from the scene to her, like on some now what? Yeah. So now the talk is, that this man lost his life over a woman in a dispute.
Would that be
Correct.
considered almost like premeditated that he already knew?
Absolutely.
Oh, it was
gotta be,
absolutely
bro.
premeditated.
I felt when I saw this beatdown, you guys,
Absolutely.
was like, why would everybody? Not that it's justified at all, because it's ignorant.
Right.
Because first of all, if it was that man's gripe and that was his baby mama, and he had the problem with that dude, he just took 5 dudes along with him, and now
Yeah.
everybody's done for life.
Yeah, yeah. All his homies going down with him.
Because
Yeah.
it just seemed like, why would they beat him up that much? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Correct.
it had to be. I didn't know if it was something personal. I didn't know if it was drugs. I don't know if the dude knew the dude in the streets. Because this be real, they're all within that same frame of 25, 35 years old. So
Yeah.
in a small town like Memphis, so even though we all got homies that are cops, and why did they become cops? Hey man, they was paying. I needed a job. You know what I mean? It's not like these guys are becoming police officers because they're good, because they're great, law-abiding citizens. No, it was just a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And I'm not giving credence to it, but now, like you guys are already alluding to, it's kind of making a little bit more sense, because we've never kind of like had internalized kind of racism in the same type of way as other ethnic people. And so the fact that they were kind of trying to make it like, see, black folks can be racist too. Now that we're understanding, like, yeah, this had nothing to do with internalized racism.
Right.
This didn't have anything to do with upholding the power structure that somehow is infested in the actual police force, and more to do with, this is a personal domestic matter, and someone's abusing their position of power to inflict harm on someone else, and in this case, death, not harm. But it was more of that than a lot of the social political issues that people want to now attach themselves to it.
Yeah, because like all the political leaders were getting involved, and I know I saw D.L. Hughley say that this is what self-hate looks like. So
Right.
a lot of people thought that it was basically black people showing off for a white guy, but
Correct.
with all this other stuff coming out, you see that it has nothing to do with that. It's all
It's
about
personal.
Hey, you slept with my baby mama, and me and the homie
Right.
about to F you up. That's
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is 90% of most men's disputes is either money or women. When it comes to black men, like those are like the number 2 things that's always like the thing, or you're in some type of gang or something, right?
Now,
And
here's
the
another question, not to cut you off, Sed, but this is a question that I'd like everybody to answer for me, because I don't get it. If you have on body cam, you know what you're doing is illegal. You know it's being recorded. Why say and do everything you did when you know it's being recorded? Is it just sheer arrogance?
That's just called ignorance, because arrogance has nothing to do with nothing. Because at the end of the day, from what I'm hearing, maybe you guys can correct me or not, it's now, if it's not a crime, it should be a crime. Anytime a cop takes off his body cam, first of all, it's literally, you're protecting yourself, and you're protecting what can happen to you, vice versa. The camera doesn't lie, right? But if you're in a situation where there's a beatdown or a murder, and all of a sudden you take that off, why do everybody's feeling he's hiding something?
Right.
Because they all took their vest off because they knew what they were doing was illegal.
Right.
But now you're gonna have to face, why did you do that? You can't use the excuse, we were in fear of our lives. No, because a vest helps save your life.
Did you guys see the video of it after that fact, when they were sitting there kind of talking and explaining to each other what happened?
Yeah, was that police video?
Yeah, that was crazy, man, because it's like they were just trying to validate, trying to find the reason why. Like, they were saying you reached out for the gun and everything, and it was like,
exactly. And nobody's gonna go against. You're not going against your fellow officer at that time. Right. And then on top of it, you were all in on it.
Yeah,
Every single one of them put hands on that man.
Yeah.
But that was after, bro. That was after they already got through bragging about kicking him, about beating him. Even the white cop said, you should have stomped him out. I hope they stomp him out. But then after they got all that bragging out, they said, man, that motherfucker was higher than a motherfucker, man. And he grabbed my gun twice.
Right.
So they start trying to clean it up.
And then what's going to happen is that's going to be proven that that's wrong, because after they do the autopsy, they'll find out that there was no drugs in his system.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So all that's, gets thrown to the wayside. But here's the other big dilemma that everybody's wondering, and I still haven't got to the bottom of this. We've been talking about it in this house the last 2 days. How was it the ambulance, the paramedics, the EMTs got there and they were either told don't touch him, or they didn't assist to help this dude that obviously is damn near unconscious, swollen head, blood everywhere. Why did they not help?
Yeah, they've been fired as well for that too.
They've been fired for that. Like, why would they not? Because I'm gonna go. They couldn't have been in on it, but those dudes had to, and they couldn't say no, don't touch him. He's armed, and they just know because he was on the ground handcuffed.
Handcuffed, knocked out.
A lot of times the cops instruct them to don't do anything. You gotta understand, like, especially in high crime cities, a lot of these EMTs and ambulance services, they know each other. The cops know them. You know, it's the same cast. So they're like, yo, chill, man. Like, wait, I need you to fall back, or whatever the case might be. It's very tragic, man. It's so many, things that we could take away from this situation. Even on the cop side of things, it's like, man, this is the first time we've seen cops indicted this fast. Like, absolutely. I mean, the next day, and again, they should be. I want to be clear when I say that. They should be. Yeah. But, even in their being wrong, they're at the top of the list, even when they're wrong. When if we know this is white, with 5 we learn how to expedite it and actually charge cops when it's black cops doing wrong. But if this was like 5 white cops, we still be like begging for some charges that happen. They would have just got dismissed based on pending charges.
Wait a year for the legal process.
Yeah, exactly. So that's tragic, even in them being wrong in this situation, where we even can see even there's disparity even amongst cops, even as they try to project themselves as being worthy of their position and titlehood.
Yeah, it's just
that's
sad,
true, man.
It's just that's all we can do.
It is, and I hate that young brother lost his life to something so like that.
Right,
could have been any of us.
Right, and our condolences and our thoughts go out to his family, man. And you just hope that this kind of thing doesn't happen again. And I hate when we say that, because somehow, some way, it happens again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, over and over again.
Of us, that could have been any of our cousins, our brothers, our sons. And it's just sad because, for the longest time, like you said earlier, we're upset because of, white people doing that to us, but it was us doing it to us. And then when you find out it's not, verified just yet, but that it's some inside shit. Yeah. That just made it even just like, you hope that's not true, man. But it's kind of like in the back of my mind, I'm going, what else could it be? You know what I mean? Right. But regardless, they are getting the punishment that they deserve. So I hate ending the show on a sad note. You know what I mean? But that's what we do here on the show. We try to uplift people. A lot of times we do talk about the news and what's happening, hot topics, and then we talk about some great things. But what's you guys have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, I'll always end it with the youtube.com/The Funny Don't Stop Show. Everyone like, subscribe, get the alerts. We're always having great content, great conversation. You can laugh, learn, be informed, and also be integrated in the show. Shout out to Bonnie Chambers, always commenting, and we'll highlight your comments as we do the live feed. Yes. So check us out. Follow us, youtube.com/The Funny Don't Stop Show.
Absolutely.
And I just want to ask, was any of us right with our Super Bowl picks from last week?
Well, what's so crazy is you and me both said the Bengals. We both left Mahomes out.
Right, and you said because he was injured. You said because he was injured.
Oh, I admit it. I said that, and I believe it was said that said, "Are you guys really leaving Mahomes out?" Was that you?
Yeah, it was said. I think that said that. Yep.
Nah, I can't take credit for it. It wasn't me.
Who was it?
Who said that then?
I thought it was actually Alex who said it, to be honest with you.
No, because
you just raised the question.
It had to be you said, because Alex was like, "No, I would pick him if he was not injured."
That is true.
And I gotta say this as a shout out to Mahomes, man. That either they got some good drugs they shot up in his leg, or some real strong tape. Yeah. But that dude played like a little warrior.
I knew the Bengals was gonna lose. I said that. I was like, "Yo, it's the Bengals."
You did say that though.
The Bengals are gonna have to change their name, or like their logo, or their uniforms, or something. Yeah. The curse of that, and it's such a dope logo, a dope, uniform, by the way.
When I was growing up, man, the Bengals, you were like, man, that's one of the hardest uniforms.
Yeah, they had one of the best uniforms, man.
Yeah,
but
I like when they go black, all black. They got a black on black that they wear in that Bengals. It's like 2 off blacks, so it looks like just all black. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe they need to keep that.
It was cold blooded. They did an all white and took away the orange helmet. And just did the white, the black tiger stripes on the helmet. I was like, that was pretty hard too. But
yeah, I think they got to go to that, man. It is just the curse of the Cincinnati Bengals, man. So I just did not have any faith in them.
I think they picked the wrong animal because I don't think there's ever been a Bengal tiger in Cincinnati. They need to change it to like the Cincinnati werewolves or some shit. Right. Cincinnati beavers, something. They need to change animals, bro, because that shit ain't working out for them.
Yeah.
Some of the Cincinnati muskrats. Hey, man, we found a way to get a laugh. That's all I care about, man. And I think the Eagles are going to come out on top, but I, as a black man, hey, man, again, like Donovan said, I think I'm proud that, I never in my lifetime thought I'd see 2 black quarterbacks in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we're about to witness it. They're both exciting. So even if you're like me, I admit, I'm an LA dude, Rams, and we're not in it. I think we're going to be entertained. I think it's going to be
Anybody got tickets? Because Amber Rose is
don't start.
Willing to eat your ass if you got a couple of tickets.
Don't start.
And as much as people think that's a joke, you know how many dudes?
I'm gonna make some bootleg tickets right now.
Oh God!
Hey, as much as people think they were joking, she had 10,000 DMs. Do I need to be on my kneecaps or you want me on all fours?
Russell Simmons hit her up, man.
I saw that. You have the video?
Russell hit her up. He's like, man, I got 2 tickets. I got you, and you can come. I got 2 tickets for you, Amber. We can come on out. You can eat my ass. I'll give you some of this old fat form gear too.
Yeah, after you eat it during the Rihanna performance.
That's crazy.
You can eat my ass under my umbrella, Ella.
Crazy. Crazy.
That is hilarious. There's some dude sliding up in her DM like, you want me to
already
face down, ass up, or what you need? You need how you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you eat my ass standing up. Can I stand up and you eat my ass? You just let me know. If you eat my ass standing up, I'll also get you 2 tickets on the field. I got 4 tickets.
Right.
Hey, and this is one of Alex's words right here. When Alex was like, it's gonna be some nose tackle that nobody knows who he is, gonna be in that DM like, look, baby, I got 2 tickets. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what
tickets.
This is what drives me crazy though, because as we're laughing about it, she's dead serious, and then this whole like slut walk and this whole like women's liberation, sexual liberation movement. Yeah. It's like, are we liberating women from being truly oppressed? Or are we just, fighting for the right to just be hoes out here, right? And that's what drives me crazy, right? If you just want to be a hoe, leave the oppressed women out of this, right? They got enough problems trying to get out of their oppression, but these like hijackers that try to hijack women's oppression movement as some kind of liberation, just go be a hoe in peace.
Well, here's the crazy thing to add to what you're saying. Said Amber Rose is definitely fighting for hoes' rights. Like you,
right? She is.
I never
she really is, though,
I
man.
would say that. And it's not even like it's bad because she promotes being a hoe. And I honestly, like I said, I don't think she's joking. When she literally is like, look, who ass I gotta eat. She's so used to eating asses and juggling balls to get to where she is. It wouldn't be the first time. Remember, she was front row at the NBA championship last year. She ate somebody's booty hole last year too.
Man. Of course, I'm gonna eat ass.
Man.
You know what I mean? She licked on somebody's nuts to be in the front row at the World Series, nigga. You can't get tickets behind the catcher without licking some balls somewhere.
She know it works. She know it works. She just being real blunt about it, man.
Trust me. When she put it out there, who ass I gotta eat to get some tickets? Trust me, somebody slid in her DM and said
that DM is on fire.
Hey, somebody did slid in that DM and said, "Hey, big head." This nigga ain't never hit me. Hey,
got a whole
big
bunch of
head.
ass
Just thinking
pictures
about
in there,
you.
man.
Niggas taking selfies with tickets and
just,
man, I got them tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Between the ass crack, man.
That's funny, Raul. Somebody, I wish I had some tickets. I'm saying, somebody put some tickets between their ass and be like, "I'll let me in the room." That's called the front row shake, bitch.
Hey, Alex, they did this, man.
The front row shake.
Hey, Alex, they did this right here.
Right. They all yours, boo. Holla at your boy.
I got 2 free ones. I got 2.
Hey, man. Hey, and
He's stupid. He's stupid, man.
Hey, and then they turn around. Hey, for my balls, you get some tailgating tickets too. I'll get it all. You just look on that.
You got a bonus? You get a bonus in there?
You get a bonus.
You gonna get. I'll put you in a jersey in the front row, extra popcorn and everything. If you lick that whole region, okay. All right, you guys. That's how you end the show. Some way we found a way. We find the funny and everything. Let them know where they can find you at, bro.
Yo, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and everything social media. Savvy Amusing.
Yo, you can find me at the Big Goose, DADBIGUZ.
Oh, shit.
And you can also check it out the apparel at BougieUniversity.com.
That's what's up. And Sed Brass.
You can check me out at SEDBRASS.
Yes, and Amber Rose is looking for tickets, fellas. So if if you are that lucky guy, hey man, just make sure you take a long bath tonight with some extra hot water.
Make sure you get that Brazilian. You get that Brazilian, man.
because let me tell you something right now. Amber Rose is looking for tickets.
That's a good one.
She probably got an inbox full of hairy asses right now.
Oh man. I hate to see what her DMs look like right now, boy. Oh man.
What's a new hacker today? Have mercy. I'm just curious to what a DM looks like.
Her DM got streaks in it, yo. It's just crazy, yo.
Yeah, her DM stinks. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching
The Funny Don't Stop Show. The Funny Don't Stop. Hey, the Funny Don't Stop Show. The Funny Don't Stop. The Funny Don't Stop Show. The Funny Don't Stop. The Funny Don't Stop Show. The Funny Don't Stop. Hey, the Funny Don't Stop Show. The Funny Don't Stop. Hey, the Funny Don't Stop.